This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Hi, this is Joe Rabil. So we're going to talk about swing trading today using compression-based patterns, all right? We want to look for when we're getting a squeeze, essentially, when something's really, really tight, and then we're looking to play the expansion of that move. Now, sometimes it could turn into a bigger trend, and you could play it as a part of a bigger trend. But right now, we're trying to identify something that would essentially where you have a pullback in a pattern, and it comes to a really, really tight energy built tight for an explosive move, and we can try and take advantage of that. Now, before we get going, if you want to learn more about some of these techniques, you can start with the book. You can click the link in the description to find out more about that. Also, if you do enjoy this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. So I've got the grid up of Hudbay Minerals. 4 charts. Is bottom left is a monthly, bottom right weekly, upper right is a daily, and then upper left is the hourly. And I am going to use all 4 of these time frames for the single trade where we're looking for compression. And now we're going to look to see if we can't catch this right as it's starting to expand. All right, that's the goal of this type of trade. We don't want to necessarily be in it for too long, but if the compression happens on a weekly, you're likely going to be in it for probably a week or two. Anyway, let's just get into the details of this. So if you notice the way this played out, we got a strong move and then a pullback. I mean, we're still trying to put this in the context of a good looking pattern. All right. Now understand this. My second course, which is called compression based swing trading. And this is sort of just a little tidbit from it. One thing you need to understand is you have to understand the foundations course before you buy this course. You don't want to get this course unless you've gone through the foundation. You really need to understand the nitty and gritty of my whole approach before trying to get into this. Now, what I want to show, I'm going to get into this pattern here and zero in. You can see, again, we made this strong move to the upside. We're showing some signs of momentum here, and then we get a pinch pullback. And if you notice, we get this red bar. This is a narrow range bar. That's why it's red. It's a narrowest bar of the past 7. All right. Now, when we get those, I like to look at them. Like, I don't go searching for them. What I see is that if I'm looking for a stock and I'm watching it pull back and all of a sudden it shows up in one of these 2 or 3, or you get 2 or 3 of them in a row, then I'm like really starting to clue in, starting to watch them pretty closely. Right. It's the type of thing that if they do show up, I want to make sure I start to maybe focus on that a little bit more. So it could be a tiebreaker for me. If I've got 3 or 4 stocks that I'm watching and one of them is a narrow range bar, then I'm definitely interested in trying to take advantage of that. Now, the other interesting aspect of the way this played out, look at what this looks like on the monthly chart. I mean, this is a monster base. So getting through the 10 level is real important. And if you notice, the narrow range bar is actually taking place below 10. All right, so we want to keep that in the back of our minds as this plays out. If you notice, so we get the pullback, and then on the trigger on the way up, let's just zero in on the daily chart. If you notice, it was a gap up. All right, now I'm not necessarily going to buy this on a gap up, even though, it had a great looking weekly chart. I'm probably going to wait for some kind of a pullback or pause or something like that and look for it to set up. And if you notice, it consolidated back and it was trying to get closer to the 18 and the 40, and we did form a pinch on this time frame. And if you notice, we had some intermittent selling on the way down, but now the green DI is starting to kick in again. All right, so that's a really good sign in this scenario where we get when we get a gap up. So we get an ABC correct. So let's just make sure everyone's kind of on board. Whoops, hold on a sec. Okay, so let's just make sure you understand where we're coming from. So we had an A, B, C correction take place. All right, to the downside. When we get those, we want to be watching to see, especially on the C pattern, just how strong it is. Once we get that C coming through, does it have any real juice behind it? When it does, we want to make sure we're counteracting that with strength back to the upside. So this, I think, had some pretty decent strength on the sellers, but then we overcame that very quickly. Now, again, just to repeat, you want to make sure you understand this is a plus ADX peak, all right, and this is a minus ADX peak, and then we get another plus peak here, and you want to go back and look at the different peaks. So this would be kind of a separate peak that didn't have much retracement. So we move up and come back. You see how we do that? So we want to watch these peaks like this and make sure we understand what's a positive peak and what's a negative peak. All right. So when we make the move back to the upside, we already have a positive bias because this peak, this positive peak, is stronger than this negative one. All right. And now we make a move back to the upside. We know we're not playing the crossover signal anyway because we had a lot of overrun here. All right. So we got to put all these pieces together every time we're making a trade. So we get a move coming up and then it consolidates back and it forms a pinch above the zero line. It's a 2 time frame pinch play now. All right. Now let's just take this back and make sure you understand. Now I'm actually going to look at the hourly chart. Now I'm looking at this as a weekly and a daily. All right. It's a weekly daily setup with compression on the weekly chart. I get the gap up and the consolidation pulls back. So I want to kind of zero in and let's just look at what's going on the hourly. So if you notice this consolidation that was taking place on the daily, look at what it does. It forms an opposing trend pattern with a zero line reversal, and then we get the low ADX signal. I mean, this should give you significant amount of confidence. If you go down to this time frame and you see what's going on here, this should give you a huge amount of confidence in the timing of what we're trying to accomplish. So I love to see this in a pattern like this. So I know I'm still playing. So this was only bar 1. All right, this move to the upside, yeah, it had the gap up. We didn't catch the gap up and it's consolidating. But when we look at this from in the grand scheme of things, it's the first bar on the weekly chart and it's just breaking above the 10 level. You see how we're finally getting back above, well, not finally, but we're getting back above the 10 level and we're getting a consolidation pattern that's really just forming like an inside bar after the breakout bar. Very bullish, all right? And above, again, this breakout area. So when we have all of these, when we start to put them all together and we see the timing of this entry, we know that we can take, prior bars high, we can draw a trend line on the hourly, we can do whatever we want. And here's the fact of the matter. You do not have to trade off the hourly if you don't want, but to not go down and look at this hourly chart and see what it's forming, to me, it's just a massive edge. Why wouldn't you try and take advantage of that when you have the resources here? So we get a pinch play on this time frame and a zero line reversal on this time frame that is really signaling us in the pinch play on this time frame. All right, momentum conditions are all good based on the ADX, and we know we have this massive base underneath us. So now, you could look at this one of two ways. You could say, the compression play is getting me in, and you could almost play this half and half. You could play half of the position as a quick trading move, and because this is setting up in such a big picture way, like a big picture pattern looks so good, you could have the other half of the position played for a longer term win, right? So snatch the quick gains, collect them, put them in the pile. They won't be as big as the gains you get on a big base breakout if it works out. But the fact is that you always want to be adding money to the pile, right? We keep on working in that direction. So this is, I think, the type of pattern that you should be on the lookout for when it shows up for you. So this is the reason why I like using the TC2000 in this way with a black background and I have the red bars. This doesn't mean you have to get TC2000, but you need to find a way. There's a lot of platforms out there. I know TradingView does it. I know Thinkorswim does it, where you can put a little dot above or below the bar to signify an NR7. All right, so you can do it that way as long as it's showing up for you and you're looking at it and you're going, whoa, okay. This all of a sudden has compression and it's in a position where if it gets going, it could do something kind of meaningful. If you can find those, if you can get the timing right, you can really take advantage of short-term bursts in your favor. And again, so in something like this, I'd probably be really taking advantage of this big move to the upside and looking to, take profits a lot more aggressively in this type of pattern that's a swing trade that with compression. Now remember, you can do a swing trade on a weekly, you can do a swing trade on the daily. It doesn't matter, you can do it in either time frame. But just realize it would be like 2 to 5 bars. In this case, maybe it's a little bit more than that because of how strong it is and how big the base is and just how it's played out so far. But in reality, you're trying to really catch a quick move with those, and sometimes you're putting a target out there that's 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 your risk. All right. So a lot of different ways to play this. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.